Does the part of your stomach just below the belly button stick out a little bit more than you like, called a pooch belly? And maybe you've checked out to make sure you don't have any gut issues, you've ruled out any serious pathology, and heck, you might have done a fairly aggressive fat loss program to try to remove as much abdominal fat as possible, but the pooch belly still remains. You might feel defeated. You might just be like, oh, well, I guess I can just never get rid of that stubborn fat below the belly button. But maybe it's not belly fat. Maybe there's another factor that contributes to the appearance of the pooch belly that we're not addressing. And if we understand what that factor is, we can then devise a strategy that will help us remove or reduce the appearance of the pooch belly. And in this video, I'm going to teach you what that factor is, and I'm going to show you a strategy to help reduce the pooch belly that I guarantee you haven't tried. Now, I've done a video on pooch belly before, and I commonly get, Zach, you're just not working out hard enough. You gotta be even more aggressive to get rid of that pooch belly. Well, clearly, those folks didn't read this study right here, which goes into a theoretical mechanism for the lower portion of the abdomen bulging out. This study showed that if there is a lack of co-contraction, muscles working together, between the abdominal muscles and the pelvic floor may descend. And then the abdominal muscles, especially the upper or more proximal portion of the abdominal muscles, may contract a little bit harder. What does that do to the guts or the abdominal contents? Let's use this stress ball right here to act as our guts. If the pelvic floor is descending and I have the upper abs contracting, the guts will move more down and forward, giving us the appearance of the pooch belly. And while gut issues and pathologies such as bloating or abdominal fat can contribute to the appearance of this abdominal bulge, there's also a postural or muscle activity function that also potentially causes the pooch belly. And that's the one piece that is commonly not addressed when trying to get rid of that bulge. And so if the pooch belly is a neuromuscular problem, we can devise a neuromuscular solution. But what is it? Well, if we have upper abs that are contracting and our pelvic floor in the front is relaxing, we need exercises that increase muscle activity of the pelvic floor but relax the upper abs. But not only that, it needs to be something that you can execute easily without cheating. A lot of times people will prescribe exercises that tip that person upside down or invert, because theoretically, if the guts are sitting low and I tip the person upside down, gravity may assist us in moving the guts more upward. But there's a problem with that. And the problem is, when I'm weight bearing in my upper body, I have to produce muscle activity to make sure I don't fall. But if I'm really stiff in my upper body and I throw more muscle activity on top of that, I may actually limit the degree that the abdominal contents can move up. If you've ever done more inverted or handstand exercises and you notice that your upper back is rounding or crunching, that is exactly what's going on. You're actually limiting the degree that you can move the guts upward. So what do we do instead? We need to find an easier exercise or progression that gets us to the point where we can do inverted-based exercises. And that exercise is elevated frog breathing. Here's how to do it. You're going to want to get an elevated surface like this box, or you can use a couch or a chair at home. Your knees are going to be wider than your hips. Your feet are going to touch. You're going to see the same things with the arms. The elbows are going to be wider than the shoulders. Your hands are going to touch. First thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're leaned a little bit forward so your hips are ahead of your knees. From here, subtly glance my eyes up at my fingertips. You want to make sure that you don't tip the head way up, bend the head like this, pull the chin back. From here, you're going to silently breathe in through the nose. The exhale is soft and slow through the mouth. As you do that, you want to push the elbows down, and your entire torso, including your chest and your lower abs, are going to move away with the exhale. You don't want to overdo this. It's subtle, like that. You're going to hold that position, silently breathe in through the nose. On the exhale, it's long, slow. Think about the lower abs almost coming backwards towards the spine. without sucking them in. You're gonna perform that move for 5 sets of 5 breaths, 2 times per day. If you're nailing all of the technical elements with it and it's getting easy, you can increase the difficulty by removing the elevation and doing this frog breathing on the ground with the same cues. If you notice that you were crunching on the elevated frog breathing, you can make this movement easier by doing simply prone breathing, where you're lying on your stomach, getting the same contact points of pressing the elbows into the ground and doing the same breathing sequence. I would spend at least 2 weeks working on fine-tuning the technical aspects of the move before progressing. Once you get past the frog breathing stage and you want to really up the intensity, you can do so by narrowing the stance of both the knees and the elbows and hitting the same cues. Eyes looking up, silent in through the nose, exhale, let the torso move away from the ground. To really up the intensity, you can then lift the knees. Regardless of which variation you are working through, the cues are exactly the same. Eyes are going to be glancing upward about 1 to 2 feet. You want to silently breathe in through the nose. It should not be heard. The exhale is soft and slow through the mouth, with the lower ab wall getting smaller or moving back towards the spine. And as that exhale is happening, you're pushing gently into the ground, and your entire torso, not just the chest, but the chest and the abs, are slowly moving away from the ground. And each move can be programmed for 5 sets, 5 breaths, 2 times per day. Now, these exercises will get you far, but if you are struggling with still having a little bit more of a slouched posture, that could actually contribute to the appearance of the pooch belly. For that, I would check out this video right here, where I go into how to address that.